We're live.
Welcome, fans of French poetry, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Review from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And tonight we are going to talk about 1992 classic, and one that we are a little early on this year.
93.
Was it 93?
It was 93.
All right, I seem to remember this one being freshman year of college, not sophomore year of college, but okay, I'll go with you on that one. But yeah, we're talking about Groundhog Day, directed by Harold Ramis and starring Bill Murray, Andy McDowell, and Elliott, and a cast of others.
You said that wrong. It's Groundhog Day.
We're a little early, obviously, because starting next week, we're going to begin our Oscar coverage, which is going to go right past the actual Groundhog Day. So we're celebrating early this year because who knows? Maybe we'll just relive this day over and over and over again.
Oh, it'll take me a whole lot longer to get it right. That's for sure.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Have you actually looked up to see how long Phil was supposed to be reliving the same day?
Wasn't it like 10,000 years?
No, that's what Harold Ramis wanted.
Oh, okay.
He wanted 10,000 years. They settled on 10.
10 years.
10 years. Mainly because you have to look at stuff like how, especially with like playing the piano, how many days do you have to play to master something?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And something like piano playing takes at least 5 years of constant playing every day to get extraordinarily good at.
And so that's 5 years. He was pretty darn good.
Well, he had also mentioned he had been practicing throwing the cards into the hat for 6 months.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but yeah, this movie, I was talking to a couple of coworkers today about this movie, and there isn't a person alive who has a bad thing to say about this movie.
No, this I would say has fallen into that category of modern classics.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of these movies. I don't feel it got the love it deserved in 93. It was an okay hit from everything I can remember.
Yeah, it made looks like it made 70.9 million.
Okay, do you have the budget in front of you?
Budget was 14.6.
Okay, and was that 70? Was that worldwide or just domestic?
Just domestic, North America.
All right. Well, regardless, that is real. That's a lot of money, especially for 1993 dollars.
Yeah.
But this movie holds up because the comedy in this movie doesn't age. And fortunately for its premise, it's not the kind of thing that can be fixed with a cell phone.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. Home Alone is over in 5 minutes if Kevin had a cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that spoiled little bastard would have absolutely had a cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing I love about this movie, too, is that
the premise of this movie. Yeah.
The thing I love about this movie is that it goes beyond just like a normal average, you know, it's more than just your average Bill Murray comedy. There is this, especially towards like the latter half of the movie, it really shows how this man has grown.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what's interesting is that it definitely plays up the stages of grief, because he has his manic stage, then he has his suicidal and his wildly depressed period, and they come in these chunks as he's essentially working his way towards acceptance and betterment.
Yeah.
And it's just what I find interesting about this premise is that now it's into, if you're experiencing deja vu to that extent, or like you just had the same thing happen to you several days in a row, you just refer to it as being, you know, I'm in Groundhog's Day right now.
Yeah, it's become part of the social and public zeitgeist.
It has. And this is just one of these movies that just it never fails to bring a smile to my face because it's so well done. I mean, it's in the hands of a master. Harold Ramis was a comedy master.
Yeah. From what I hear, like the original script, Bill Murray wanted it to be more of a Bill Murray comedy, and it wasn't until like Harold Ramis and the writer Danny Rubin, and they started like really working with it, that it kind of started forming into what the classic that it is now.
Right. And this is the kind of thing that doesn't get done right on the first take, like Phil's life for 10 years. This definitely this has all the markings of rewrites and continuity and just making sure that everything makes sense. The beauty of the continuity angle, though, is that everything resets at, from what we're guessing, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, the only person that you really need continuity around is Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one of Bill Murray's top 5. This is a Bill Murray top 5 performance for me.
I would honestly, I'd put it in the top 3.
Yeah,
I really. I mean, for as much as he was apparently almost impossible to work with on this set. As much as that. He really makes Phil his own.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he makes him a Bill Murray character. And again, it's one of those guys that you just have to get to love because everybody starts out as a Peter Venkman. They all do. Every one of his characters starts out as Peter Venkman. Or Jack Tripper from Stripes. That's really what everyone starts up as, and whether or not they learn anything from their experience.
Yeah, Venkman does not.
No, Venkman does not. But yeah, no, Phil Connors is a very interesting character because there is that point where he just wants to be a better person, Yeah.
I think for me the moment where you really see him start to change is with the old man.
I think it comes before that. But the old man is definitely part of. It's after he has that night with Andy McDowell's character, where she was going to sit up with him and wait to see what happened. It was after he tried to romance her, after he kind of admitted everything that he knew was going on. From that point, he knew that he was going to have to establish his own, establish his own thing. And and I think that the homeless guy definitely helps, but the homeless guy is there also to just teach him the lesson that sometimes it's just their time.
Yeah.
So he was going to die no matter what.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many times you try it differently. Sometimes some things you just can't change.
Yeah. And that's one of them. But it is fun when he's playing around with the limits of what he can do. Like, when he's driving the train, driving the car on the train tracks.
Oh, dude, when he's kidnapping the groundhog.
Yeah. Oh. Whose name is also Phil, by the way. Punxsutawney Phil.
Oddly enough, it was filmed in Woodstock.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed when he's trying to like convince Nancy.
Oh yeah.
He gets her backstory one day and then seduces her the next.
I do love like that callback towards the end when he's like kind of introducing Andy McDowell's character. Yeah, Rita to all the people, and he goes, and she makes it sound like a squirrel when she's really excited.
Oh yeah, that was when he was kind of going over the power that he knew.
Yeah.
It's like because he talked about like the couple they're gay, they're supposed to get married today, but she's having second thoughts. Well, my favorite though was Robin Duke's waitress when he's like, she's working here since she was 17, and she was going to Paris one day, and her head just tilted back like, oh, would I?
Yeah, you know what? Like, for as great as Bill Murray is in this movie, and that for me, this is the best the best role that Chris Elliott has ever done. Because quite frankly, he's not that good.
Chris Elliott is just kind of there. He doesn't add much to the story. He's just kind of the third wheel in this.
Right.
In this thing. There isn't much that he does. But
that being said,
I've always liked Chris Elliott. I go all the way back to like Get a Life.
Yeah.
When,
yeah.
But he can be comedically very, very funny. But this is just, I hate to say, you take an extraordinarily funny guy and make him the straight man.
Yeah, but I think if they let him kind of go more comedic, I don't think it would have. I think it would have been a detriment to the whole movie as a whole.
Well, and that's kind of the thing with Bill Murray movies is that realistically, no one else is allowed to be funny. Really, the only exemption to that is Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, he's he's kind of a force of nature in every movie he does, and easily the best thing about this movie, I do find, and this might just be because I'm not a fan of hers, I found that the Andie MacDowell stuff, I understand his purpose, and it didn't drag as badly as she did in Four Weddings and a Funeral. But it's just it's yay, great, be invested to the nice pretty girl.
Yeah, I mean, Rita's just kind of like there to be, just kind of like show almost like a perfect woman, and just kind of showing like that's the pedestal that if Phil wants to escape this loop, that's where he has to get to.
Right, and it just, I don't know. It's because it's a cute romance, and Bill Murray is just one of those guys that it's tough to see him with women.
Yeah.
Because he is a very unique looking guy. He's got a lot going on for him, but good looks are not one of them.
I can't disagree.
Right. And Andie MacDowell she's essentially a bag of cement. Whether or not she's going to be a wet bag of cement or just a dry bag of cement depends on the movie.
I'll disagree with that. I like her. I do like
probably her best thing. Let me just put that. This is probably her best movie.
I haven't seen a whole lot of other movies with her, so I can't really say one way or another.
I could have referred to. Four Weddings and Funeral is the big one because she's so terrible in that movie, filled with so many funny people. But she was so bad in Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, King of the Apes.
Yeah,
that
come on.
They actually had to do her voiceovers.
I mean, that movie in general is not good. Come on.
Lord of the Monkeys, man. Lord of the Monkeys.
But I will say that, as good as Bill Murray is as Phil, he is surrounded by, as you get to know all these characters throughout all the characters that populate this town, they are actually very interesting. You get depth to a lot of them.
Well, they don't. I would say they give depth, but you get to know the characters to a small little snippet of what it'd be like just to see them for one day.
Yeah.
I mean, Ned Ryerson is the big one. Stephen Tobolowsky, that guy of this movie. He's the standout out of all of them because he's just what a figure that dude strikes.
Bing!
Yeah. He's so like he gives that role his absolute all.
Yeah.
The line readings are great. The fact that he just goes out of his way to be annoying is fantastic.
Yeah.
And make no mistake, he is annoying in this. I would never want to meet Ed Ryerson. but it's so much fun seeing him, especially with the interactions. And it is a little satisfying though when Phil's had it.
He just punches him.
Phil Connors, Ned Ryerson. Oh.
I think everyone gets a cheer at
really
that point.
The standout in that. I mean, you had other characters in there. Rick Dukeman's drunk character, plays a little bit, but he's just kind of there for a few lines. But for the most part, Robin Duke's waitress is the same thing. She's just there. Thing. This is a two-person. This realistically is a two-person show, and it's really a one-man show because it's all about Bill Murray.
Well, don't forget Brian Doyle Murray is in there as well.
Brian Doyle Murray playing his 5 minutes, as well as his brother allow him to. He's got Phil.
He's playing his 5 minutes and his 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and his 5 minutes and his 5 minutes.
Aim high. We don't want to shoot the groundhog. It's just it's tough to really I don't like gush about this movie. There's very little, there's very little you could fix about this movie, and I would dread to see somebody try to redo this, to try to retell this tale.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is the story has been retold dozens of times since, but I mean, they're all kind of aiming for the same, Groundhog Day is kind of the how you exemplify, how you really tell this story to the best possible way.
And I think the path to better personal improvement, there are two ways you can go about doing it. It's either repeat the same day over and over and over again, or just be shown what life is like with you not having been born.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the only two ways. I won't accept anything else.
Yeah.
And even still, that one actually had some heavenly intervention, whereas this one is just
it just happens.
There's no explanation for it.
Yeah,
it just happens. And the beauty is that there is no Rosetta Stone to say when it was supposed to end. It just ended. He had an amazing day. He brought the entire town together. And I don't know if it was just like he had enough and that was it. And he gets to live he gets to live on now.
That's what I love about this, is that there is no explanation for why this happens. There's no explanation for why it ends. All we know is it's all based around this one person. And until he actually, sorry, my cats are trying to get out. Until he actually kind of shows that he can become a better person, he's stuck there.
Yeah.
And that no explanation is necessary. I've never once wanted to know. I wonder why that happened. It just happens.
It just happened. Don't question it. It's kind of like when the vampires and What We Do in the Shadow turn into bats. What happened to your clothes? Oddly, we just don't even think about it.
Yep.
And again, that's the kind of issue that this movie was made at the perfect time for people to not question this kind of stuff. Because again, if it were made today, you'd have to give this full out explanation, or else.
No. If it was made today, they'd make a prequel to show how it all happened first.
Right, and then show the other people that this happened to, and that they became better people because of it.
Yeah.
And if you really want the dark reality of that one, it'd probably be done by one of the groups that Kirk Cameron does his movies through.
Oh no!
You just had to relive the entire this bad day of your life for 300 years until you accepted Jesus, and not even Jesus, but prosperity gospel Jesus. The Jesus that loves money. That one.
So give generously to your local church.
So, yeah. Got anything else on Groundhog Day?
Beyond Ghostbusters, it is probably my favorite Bill Murray movie.
Yeah, and one that I told my daughter she's going to watch this at some point because it's it just fits in with it. It's the beauty is it's a reasonably clean movie. It's good. It's good for, it's perfectly acceptable for a 10, 11, or 12-year-old to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Because
mean,
even for 93, there's not a lot of language at all.
yeah, and it is PG, isn't it?
It is PG. There are a couple of sexual situations, but nothing really huge.
Yeah, yeah. Mainly with Nancy.
And nothing I don't feel like I'd have to explain to my daughter. So, but yeah, I really, really do enjoy this movie. Now, let me ask you one thing. If you were to relive the same day over and over and over again, what would you do? What skill would you perfect?
Maybe martial arts.
Do martial arts?
Yeah.
I would probably become a guitar virtuoso.
Oh, I thought you already were one.
Well, I'm not. I'm not. I am purely 3 chords rhythm guitar. But I would totally do that. I would also still continue to attempt to rob a bank.
Oh, no. You know what I would do? I would watch every single movie I've ever wanted to watch.
There you go.
And then maybe compete in the movie trivia Smart.
Awesome. So that was Groundhog Day. What are your thoughts on the movie? Do you love the movie? You're not a fan? Are you like the one person who isn't a fan of this movie? Seriously, I don't know anybody who doesn't like this movie.
Nah.
Feel free to leave a polite comment below. Don't forget to give this video a big like and subscribe to the channel. We do this every week, guys. With new video reviews, we've got our Oscar season coming up pretty soon, and then Disney movies galore.
Yeah,
plenty of special guests. So definitely don't forget to subscribe. You also get the audio for the podcast that Mike and I host, which is Geek Salad. We just recorded a new episode last night. It should be out in about another week or so, where we touch on the obscure singles of the 80s. You can check out. Yes. You can check out our archive at geeksalad.podbean.com. You can download the Podbean app as well to get the full archive. Or on your smartphones, you can check us out at iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. Again, as well here. And also Google Music. And if you want to follow us on the social medias, we are on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast and on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio. So, until next time, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And I hope you don't repeat this again. Go forth and be nerdful. Talk to you later.
Didn't you just say that?
Ah!